Hey guys, what's going on? Back here with another episode of our New York Islanders franchise mode for NHL 19. I just finished the last video, but we're going to go ahead and continue on right here with another one as we are up here at free agency. And to be honest, this is a pretty big step in our team here with the New York Islanders, in our era of this Islanders hockey organization. So we have a big free agency slash off season going on right now. So we failed to move up in the draft to hopefully snag up that Schumacher kid in the last one, an offensive left-handed defenseman at number 3, which I tried my best to get him, but we just couldn't do it. Couldn't move up, just wasn't in the cards. But we do have some options here in free agency. Now, I was first thinking about maybe going after Mikhail Sergachev. I know he's a restricted free agent. He did not play last year. He missed the entire year because Tampa did not sign him and could not sign him, and they still have not signed Mikhail Sergachev. So he is a left-handed defenseman. I think he is a two-way defender. I think that part is accurate. What he has done in 2 seasons in this game is 29 points in year number 1 and then 31 points in year number 2. So he's a good defenseman, obviously. He's young, 23 years old. So I was thinking about maybe throwing an offer the Tampa Bay Lightning slash Sergachev's way for his contract. But then something came through, and look at this. Quinn Hughes, who I created before the franchise mode started, placed him on Vancouver. He ended up playing 2 years in their organization. He played in the AHL last year, had 26 points, 14 goals in that full season. And then this past season, had 16 goals. He was a minus 14, unfortunately, in his rookie season there with the Vancouver Canucks. So, for whatever reason, they did not sign him. And as a 21-year-old, he is going to free agency. So, where Sergachev is 2 years older and he's restricted, we have an opportunity to put an offer at Quinn Hughes, who is left-handed as well. As an unrestricted free agent, we can throw whatever we want at him. So I think I'm going to go after Quinn Hughes here. He probably is currently listed as a top 4 defenseman, but I have no doubt he can potentially get that top 2 defenseman player role sometime in the future. So he is young. He's only played 2 professional years, one in the AHL and one in the NHL, but we're going to throw an offer at him. He wants a 3-year contract, which I'm going to give that to him because that's what he wants. So it looks like Vancouver has put an offer into him after the fact. Maybe they just couldn't settle on a contract during the re-sign stage. But St. Louis and Minnesota have both offered him a contract as well. So we have just under $12 million in cap space. So I'd like to put an offer here towards Quinn Hughes. So he's asking for 5.5, and for a young stud who's hopefully going to be with us for a long time, even after this first contract here that we're going to give him, I don't mind paying him. And I'll explain that because we really don't have that many big contracts after we sign Ethan Loynes to either an extension or sign him next summer to get his big boy contract. But other than that, we really don't have any huge contracts coming up for at least a little while. So he wants 5.5. I'm going to offer him 6.8. I think that's a good contract, hopefully, offer here for Quinn Hughes. If all else fails, I can always throw an offer towards Sergachev's way, but I think 6.8 would get the job done for Quinn Hughes. Hopefully he wants to sign here. 6.8 I think is what I'm going to settle. I don't want to go to 7. just yet. He is still young. He can definitely get paid in his next contract, but 6.8 I think is perfect for a guy who's only played 2 professional seasons, only 1 in the NHL. So Quinn Hughes, 3 years, 6.8. I'm hoping that gets the job done there. So that would be a huge addition to our top 4. Now, if Hughes does sign and/or we get Sergachev or whatever the circumstances are, that means bye-bye Nick Leddy. And I already have a trade that I have in mind to get Leddy out of here and to bring in a second-line center, so I won't have to sign someone, hopefully. And this is the only really big contract I need for the team. All the other lines should be set and squared away. So I did put a couple of offers in for some scouts, so that's the first one. I think I did 5 in total, maybe 4. So there's another one. Excellent. There's the third. There's the fourth. Let's see if Quinn Hughes signs with us, and there's the 5th. So all those scouts signed. Quinn Hughes has still not gotten back to us yet. I have a feeling he will right now. Let's see. Quinn Hughes accepts the offer from the New York Islanders. He was extremely happy. The cash offer was most generous. Easy to make up his mind. So he wants to come here and play alongside Matthew Barzal. That is amazing. So, since that is the case, and we now have Quinn Hughes on our roster, look at that potential. I know he's got to be higher than an 81. I know he's medium elite. That much I am aware of. That is going to be perfect for our team going forward. So since that's the case, we've got to get rid of Nick Leddy. Nick Leddy is going to leave this team. I have a trade set up. It's going to be with the Vancouver Canucks, the team that we just took their basically prospect elite defenseman away from them. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He, I think, is going to be a perfect second-line center for us. We can put Beauvalet down on the third line, where he's probably a little bit better suited. He can play alongside Dalcall and Senyshyn, and then we'll have Riley Sheehan for the fourth line. So Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, in 3 years in this game, have a down year, 46 points. Okay, so he should be a nice passer for Skinner. And Josh Ho-Sang. He can score goals. He has the ability to, but he's a little bit more of a passer. This is what he's capable of. These numbers right here, 60 to 70 points. So as a second line center, I think that's perfect for us. He's making just a little bit less than Nick Leddy. However, he is locked up for 5 years, so we won't have to worry about him. Now the only thing here is we're going to have to increase this trade a little bit. We want to give them a little bit extra. This is where Nikita Babkov comes in. So he just played his first full professional season. He played 2 years in Russia. This was his first year, and then we drafted him after that year. He played another year in Russia with 14 points, and then his first full professional year in the AHL, playing mostly on the fourth line, had 12 points. The reason I'm not afraid to give Babkov away, he was a gem in the draft. We selected him in the second round after year number 1, is the low top 6 potential. If he had a medium top 6, he would not be on my trade block. I would not be willing to give him away. But because he's 20 years old, he's only 68 overall, and he's a low top 6, looking at the future, we've got our top 6, right? You got Bailey, Barzal, Loins, Skinner. Now we'll have Nugent-Hopkins and Ho-Sang for the next 3, 4, 5 years, right? So at the very least, I just don't see a scenario where he ends up being effective in even making it to the top 6. Never mind, having a spot for him. So that's where Nikita Babkov comes in. We're going to add him to this trade, and I'd like to maybe get a pick back in return. I'd like to get this third rounder. If not, I might settle for a lower pick. But it looks like the edge is slightly in their favor. But they want to give both of these away, and they want both of these assets. So I'm hoping this is just a nice, perfect, easy trade to make right here. So let's see if Vancouver is willing to take this trade offer. Trade accepted. I'm happy to accept this proposal on the behalf of the Vancouver Canucks. I think that is a really good trade. It's a good trade. I don't know for them, but we're look at our status now. We're listed as a championship caliber team. So we're still very young. We're still very much building, but I think with the addition of Hughes, we're starting to turn the page a little bit. Obviously last year in the playoffs, we don't really want to talk about that, the way we kind of got bounced out there. But we're starting to build. We're bringing in guys that we're putting out offers and they're accepting and they want to come here. Guys like Tyson Barrie, now with Quinn Hughes, a young stud for the future. Jeff Skinner was another free agent sign for us, and trading in and bringing in Nugent Hopkins to be a upgrade at second line center over Beauvalet, who is now going to play on the third line. We're starting to build. The younger guys are starting to really grow into their own. Guys like Loins and Barzell. Now we're starting to bring in pieces and add to the team. Also, with the trade last year we made to get Henrik Lundqvist, and we gave him a 1-year contract, so he'll be back. He'll still be, he's not going to drop to 80 overall overnight. He's still going to have another good season being an elite goaltender. Right now it says 89 overall. We'll see what happens come the start of the season, but we have a pretty good team now. We have a good team, so let's just continue to build and get closer to hopefully a Stanley Cup in the